What you're doing right now is the beginning.
I
I just want you to know that this is the top of the show. What is happening right now?
That's the new theme song.
Christ, that is loud in my headphones.
Well, maybe you should have been more prepared.
I guess I should.
You never know when a spontaneous theme song is going to break out.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Chai.
It's chai-horrific.
Chai-horrific.
It's chai-tastic.
I'm going to have a bad case of chai-arrhea.
And sometimes when it's feeling sad, it's just a little chai.
Aww.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. No fucking around today. We're getting right into it.
Bonjour.
There's too much to talk about.
There are multiple things to talk. Actually, you have many pages of paper in front of you.
This might be the most show prep I've ever... No. This is like up there, though.
Right there in front of you.
Right.
And people can't see this, so they just have to take my word for it.
They do.
Several reams of paper.
Yeah. What I did was I went to Office Depot. Mm-hmm. I set my font as high as it would go, like 72, and it's a letter per page.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's efficient.
Right.
It's. I like how you can just see the entire rainforest right here in sheet form.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
This is all mahogany paper. Okay.
Okay.
Before we get too deep, last week,
yes,
I have a couple, call them corrections if you want to.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
where are we correcting?
Well,
it's not me, right?
No, it's really just this one thing.
I didn't do it wrong, though.
No, I did it wrong.
Okay, good, because
well,
I'm
we
right.
sort of both did it wrong. Remember Laika the space dog?
Yes.
We were talking about Laika the space dog?
Yeah.
We thought that maybe it was still floating out there in space somewhere, that she was still going. It's actually a really interesting story, okay?
How interesting?
I mean, on a scale of
1 to 30.
I am 22, probably.
Wow.
It's not bad.
22 on a 1 to 30.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's no War and Peace, but
right.
It's pretty good. Okay, so Laika, who lived from 1954, they think, until November 3rd, 1957. So we know the day that Laika died. One of the first animals in space and the first animal to orbit the Earth, okay? Laika was a stray dog from the streets of Moscow.
Right.
This is from Wikipedia. And was selected to be the occupant of the Soviet spacecraft Sputnik 2, which launched November 3rd, 1957. So if you're doing the math here, Laika died the day that Laika launched. At the time, they didn't know what spaceflight would do to an animal. They weren't sure. So that's why they sent a dog instead of a human. Some scientists believe they wouldn't be able to survive the launch or the conditions in outer space. The interesting part, well, this is not the interesting part. This is the truth part. Laika died within hours from overheating inside the capsule. This is the interesting part. The true cause and time of her death were not made public until 2002. So
why would they hide that?
I don't know. It's Russia? Instead, it was widely reported that she died when her oxygen ran out on day 6, or, as the Soviet government initially claimed, she was euthanized prior to oxygen depletion. On April 11th, 2008, Russian officials unveiled a monument to Laika.
So they have a dog statue somewhere.
They have a dog statue. Why would they lie for, 40 years?
I don't know. I just was thinking... back when they launched was a really good time to, say that you let a dog die cruelly.
Right.
They waited until PETA existed. And they're like, hey, guess what happened?
And PETA tracked down the rocket scientists and went and threw paint on them.
I'm sure they did.
They probably did.
They're usually pretty rational. They don't do things like that. But
Oh,
PETA. So when I was... I want to say 18, 19, I went to a music festival.
Okay.
And PETA was at the music festival.
Okay.
And they were handing out something. I don't remember what. But to get it, I had to give my phone number.
Okay.
Now, 18, 19-year-old Nathan goes, I like free stuff. Here's my phone number.
Sure, yeah.
To this day, every couple of months, I get an email from PETA, or a text message from PETA.
A text message?
Yeah, talking about how I don't have to let animals suffer
my God,
cruelly.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just constant.
So
I want to unsubscribe, but I also don't want to.
Right.
Because I kind of enjoy it.
So the lesson here, I think, is don't give your phone number out, guys, for anything. It can haunt you.
I don't know. It's given me years of enjoyment.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's the gift that keeps on giving right there. The last one was about KFC. Many of them are about KFC.
KFC is, it's pretty horrid, though.
Well, the joke's on them.
Yeah.
Because I live in Nashville. I'm not going to KFC. There's a lot better fried chicken other places.
That's very true. Yeah.
Are they just as cruel? Maybe. Do I know? No, because they haven't texted me about it.
Right.
I get to live blissfully unaware of how the chicken I'm eating died.
Get on it, about Chick-fil-A. Get on it.
Chick-fil-A, please.
Come on.
Nashville hot chicken.
Oh, well, that's true. You know how they killed the chickens for Chick-fil-A, don't you? They read in the Bible until they kill themselves.
Just the passages that relate to homosexual behavior.
And poultry.
And poultry.
Yeah.
There are a surprising amount of poultry related passages in the Bible.
Yep. There's a lot of poultry buggery out there in ancient times. The ancient world.
Yeah.
What a different time it was, indeed.
Anyway, so you can't launch a dog into space safely, is the moral of this story.
I mean, you probably can now.
No.
But in 1957, it was not a good idea. That was a death sentence for that dog.
Now, this was Sputnik 2?
Sputnik 2, yeah.
So that's not the one that we freaked out about.
Right, we freaked out about Sputnik 1.
Right.
The one that, you always see it traveling around the Earth going, beep, 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 that whole
The
thing.
one that's going to eventually destroy the United States?
Correct.
It's just a waiting game.
Oh, yeah.
They put that up there. 2030, we're gone.
It's over.
Yeah.
Get ready, people. Strap in. Russian overlords. Oh, man. The Russians suck, though.
Yeah.
They really... I mean, the people don't suck, I'm sure, but, their government's crazy. I mean, our government's crazy, too, but... geez. Hi, NSA. But the Russian government, man, I don't know. Those guys do a lot of dastardly shit out there.
Well, you know who's a big fan of the Russian government.
Nice segue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been practicing that all day today. I was going, I hope Justin brings up Russia.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he brings up Russia so I can segue. Anyway, you know who loves Russia?
I do.
And Vladimir Putin?
Oh.
Putin?
I believe my tweet during the debate on our account was, what's that horrible sound? Oh, that's just Trump sucking Putin's cock.
For those who haven't put it together, it's Donald Trump.
It's Donald Trump.
That likes Vladimir Putin.
Oh, he likes him, but Putin is like, yeah, all right, whatever, about Trump.
Well, let me, from what I understand it, this is the timeline of their relationship.
Okay.
Donald Trump says, I was in Russia. I met Vladimir Putin.
Right.
He's a great leader.
Yeah.
Then he says, I didn't meet him. He's a great leader. Then he says, he's not really a great leader. Then he says, no, he's a great leader. Didn't meet him. Never met the guy.
Not in my life.
And I never said I met him.
Right.
And I never said any of the things you have on record. It's all a lie.
Wow. That's insane. There's a great article in the New Yorker that I pulled up online about the Trump-Putin deal.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting. And but my favorite thing from it was just the cover art, which some graffiti artist in Eastern Europe somewhere painted a picture of both of them in tracksuits making out, like hardcore making out. It was lovely.
And when Donald Trump saw that, he was a little bit upset because he didn't think it looked enough like him.
That's right.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I would make out much better than that.
Yeah.
I'm the best make-outer.
Putin shouldn't be on top. I should be on top, clearly. Oh, wow. Things are falling.
Yes.
Yeah, so that happened. The debate happened.
Yes, the first presidential debate.
On ABC.
Which I believe last night was the vice presidential debate.
Oh.
No one cares.
I didn't even know it happened.
I think it was last. I'm not. This is me trying to remember.
Yeah.
No one watched it. No one cares. It's the two most boring people in the world discussing things that you don't really care because they're the vice president. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know anything.
Yeah. Mike Pence is such a tool.
He is.
He is such a tool.
He. I really don't ever want to listen to either one of them talk. Actually.
Yeah. Tim Kaine, right?
Yes.
I don't know a lot about Tim
so.
Kaine. Right. It doesn't.
The other one.
The other one.
I always remember I don't like Mike Pence.
Right.
And there's also another guy who could be vice president.
Right.
He is boring.
Yeah.
He spoke at the Democratic National Convention. Mm-hmm. Wasn't good.
Really?
Yeah. He did a Trump impression. Wasn't very
on
good.
Stage?
Yeah, it wasn't very good. So that's what I know of him, is he's not good at impressions.
Well, he gets points for trying, at least. I give him that.
Yeah, okay.
I give him a little bit.
I mean, he was on a national stage. Maybe work on your impression a little bit.
So for anyone who thought that there was even the slightest possibility that Trump, quote unquote, won that debate, first of all, anyway, there's a whole problem with winning a debate. It's a debate. But for anyone who thought that might have happened, you will be very upset by the things we're about to say.
That's true. You should probably skip this episode.
Right. And then,
The reality of the situation is, how do I put this delicately?
Yeah. Softly for the listeners.
Trump looked like a stupid bag of stupid.
Yeah. Hillary,
if you could take a bag of stupid and make that bag stupider than the stupids that are contained inside of the stupid bag,
I gotcha.
That's Donald Trump.
Yeah. And then if you could get a monster to eat the stupids inside the stupid bag, excrete it through one of its many unholy orifices, that would be a pretty close to what he actually looked like.
You know what he looked like.
And when we say looked like, we're not talking. We are talking about physically, but we're mainly talking about yes.
Donald Trump, the way he acted, is the way kids acted in college or high school, either one.
Yeah.
When they had to give a verbal presentation, but they didn't prepare for the verbal presentation.
That's right.
So they just repeat the subject over and over.
Over and over again.
They come up with a thesis.
Yes.
And then they say that thesis 13 different ways, and then they're done with the thesis and they're done with the whole presentation.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
You got it. This was us, myself and Jen, watching the debate. I wasn't even planning to watch it because I was tired and I didn't want to get upset. You know, I was like, I just thought I'd get upset by the whole thing, but she turned it on, and I was really glad she did. We both proceeded to drink a little more than we probably should have on a weeknight, and
Donald Trump has that effect on people.
Yeah, we had a blast because Hillary kicked his ass so hard. She was so poised, first of all. She had a really thought out, well-reasoned, backed up answer for everything she was asked.
Well, yeah, she prepares.
Yes.
If anything, she over-prepares.
Yes.
That she is not going to be unprepared for anything.
Correct.
If Trump had come out accusing her of, being the person who designed the Big Mac, she had an answer for it.
She did.
She was ready.
Right. Because she's dealing with someone who just spews bullshit all the time. So she had to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, she checked all my boxes, I have to say. Like, I looked down at my boxes at the end of the night, and they all had a smudge on them.
I had no boxes.
Yeah.
I was box free.
You were boxless?
Yeah. I've already decided, and I'm not going to say which candidate I think is one of the worst human beings on the planet. I'm not going to say which one I think it is.
Sure.
But he did not do well at the debate.
Right.
And that's really all I was expecting to see and wanted to see.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what she said.
Right. Well, I think I wouldn't go that far, but he looked like a petulant child up there, like you say, who didn't prepare for his speech and lost his note cards.
This is what I thought was really funny. The first question, he started off sounding like he knew what he was going to say.
Yeah.
And then they got past the point where he had a scripted answer.
Right.
And all of a sudden,
he had nothing. He had nothing. Yeah. I mean, you said this earlier, but he just kept repeating the same thing, down to the words over and over again, like the demagogue that he is, he just kept sort of rattling off the same propaganda over and over and didn't really have an answer for anything. And, the coup d'etat moment for me was, Hillary is obviously very intelligent, and one of the things she did was she just let him do it. Yeah. And just kind of sat there and smiled.
Yeah.
He cut her off repeatedly.
She was loving it.
She was loving it.
I've never seen Hillary Clinton smile that much when there aren't balloons in the air. She loves balloons.
From ear to ear.
It was the happiest she's ever looked.
So great. She was over the moon. And the other thing that she did was she, in the middle, she just, she put it in there rather quickly. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, on my website tonight, my staff are fact-checking everything that he's saying, and they're, putting up the facts with sources live. So you can go read and see how much of what he's saying is actually true.
I believe they had 40-some entries.
They really?
It was something insane. Someone else unbiased, keeping in mind, she's not an impartial party.
No, of course not.
They have something to prove.
Sure.
An impartial person counted lies and mistruths. And I don't want to say the exact numbers because I don't remember the exact ones, but it was something along the lines of 30-some for Trump, 5 for Hillary Clinton.
Wow. Wow.
Which, to be fair, most of Trump's don't matter.
No.
He's just lying for fun.
He just lies.
He just does it.
He's just systematically lies. Everything that comes out is a lie. She handled the email question extremely well. She handled it the way that it should have been handled by just saying, look, I messed up.
Yeah.
It won't happen again. There's nothing more to say than that,
Meanwhile, Donald Trump can't answer a question about Barack Obama's birth certificate.
Exactly.
Which, like that should be dead and buried by now.
Gosh, who cares?
That was many years ago.
Yeah, the guy who's been elected twice, Nathan. No one gives a shit. The people that give a shit are hardcore right-winger type people.
Well, and it doesn't matter what he said.
Right.
If he had come out and said, yeah, I was dead wrong, Barack Obama definitely born in the United States.
Yeah.
They would have all been sitting there going, oh, the government made him say that. It was the government making him say that.
You're right.
They threatened his family.
Right. And the moderator, by the way, let's get to the moderator. The moderator, Lester Holt.
Don't like Lester Holt, by the way.
You don't?
I don't like Lester Holt.
Okay, he's sort of fine.
I don't have a specific reason.
I don't know anything about him.
Well, I just know him from seeing him present the news.
Yeah, okay.
He hosts the NBC Nightly News.
Okay.
He has done nothing to offend me.
Sure.
But when I see him, I just go,
Just doesn't have anything for you. First of all, Lester Holt is an African-American guy.
That's not why I dislike Lester
I know.
Holt. I want that on the record. That I'm fine with.
Of course not. But, if you're a crazy person, you might think that leads him to some implicit bias, but you told me something very important about Lester Holt, which is...
So Donald Trump was upset before the debate started.
Correct.
Because Lester Holt is obviously a Democrat, because he's a black person.
Right.
Only he's actually a Republican and has been for over a decade.
There you go. Registered.
Yeah, registered Republican.
Registered as a Republican.
Yeah. I'm not willing to register for a party. So if you register for a party,
exactly,
you believe in that party.
Yes, you have strong feelings that direction. And then there was, of course, Trump's backlash. You know, his sort of tactic seems to be, I didn't do well. I don't even know if he's cognizant of the fact that he didn't do well, but whether he is or he isn't, I didn't do well. It was rigged. Lester Holt was against me the whole time. He was tougher on me than he was on her. First of all, one of the things that pissed me off the most, I was not feeling Mr. Holt at first, by the way, because he kept letting Trump interrupt Hillary constantly and go over his time and all that stuff.
You know how I just said Trump was like the kid who didn't prepare? To continue the school analogy, Lester Holt's like the substitute teacher. Who just goes, I don't know what to do. I'm out of control. Just don't hurt anyone.
Right. To be fair to him, as the debate went on, he did try to rein Trump in a little bit more. And Hillary didn't do that back, by the way. Like, I didn't see it once.
There was a little bit where they sniped back and forth a little bit.
There was that, yes.
And both of them, he would go, okay, your time is up. And they'd go, okay, well, I have something else to say about that. And he'd go, all right.
Which is what politicians always do. But Trump was like blatantly talking over her a lot and interrupting her constantly. And I think that is a bit of a gender thing. You know, it's also just he's an asshole thing. But like, you know, I don't know. I feel like she has to be so much more than even she is because she's a woman. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't remember what station it was, but was outlining what they had to do to succeed in the debate.
Right.
Trump's points were essentially, don't do anything terrible.
Right.
Just don't do it. Whatever you're thinking about doing, don't do it.
Don't do it.
That was their point.
Right.
Hillary Clinton's, it was all stuff that I feel like is a fairly sexist complaint you hear all the time about. She can't be shrill.
Right.
Because people all say her voice is shrill.
Right.
She has a normal voice.
She has a completely normal
lady voice.
Yes. She has. I didn't find her voice shrill at all.
I've never really found her voice shrill. I don't understand the complaint. Regardless of where you stand politically, she just sounds like a human.
Right. She sounds like a person.
It was that and something about her smiling more.
Which she did a lot in the debate because she knew that she had the upper hand.
It was all points that 60s stewardess would be told when they started a job.
There's an etiquette book somewhere that was perfect. Yeah, it's exactly. It's sexist.
Someone somewhere probably vetoed the decision of shaving off 5 or 10 pounds.
Right.
It's just very, very bad.
I guess there was something on. Did you see the Between Two Ferns with Galifianakis and her? I didn't watch the whole thing, but I guess there was something on there about a red power suit.
He said that I know I'm going to get this quote wrong.
Yeah.
But he said he wanted to know where she got her pantsuits.
Right.
Because he was hoping to dress up like a librarian from the future for Halloween.
Well, anyway, she came out in her red power suit.
Yeah.
And rocked it. And Trump had on a blue tie, and it doesn't really matter.
Were you confused by this?
Yeah, she was dressed Republican. He was dressed Democrat. Yeah, I was.
It took us a minute of discussion before Tanae and I could even get into the debate. Yeah, because it was like they had reversed roles.
Yeah, exactly. It was really weird. It was really weird. I wonder if because generally men are going to wear a suit. And it's going to be a black suit with a white shirt.
Yeah.
The only variance is the tie.
Or it could be a blue suit.
It could be a blue suit.
Navy suit.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that's the
allowed
choice.
Also.
Right, but generally,
suit.
Suit.
You got two choices.
Right. So I almost wondered if she picked the power suit, the red power suit, way ahead of time to force him to wear a blue tie.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure that...
Just to fuck with him a little bit.
I'm sure that what was it NBC putting on the debate?
Yeah, it was
whatever
NBC.
It was.
Yeah.
Spoke to them ahead of time to make sure it looks right.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want...
Right.
Like if Trump had walked out in a red suit too... Talk about how embarrassing that would be.
A red pantsuit.
Oops.
Actually, that might be great because then you could sort of look at them the same. But he would look very orange and red.
That's true.
Extremely.
Yeah, it would not be
It
good.
would clash.
he would look like a tomato man.
Yeah. The end of the debate was fun too because, of course, they shake hands, and I almost expected them to deck each other. And then almost immediately, Bill and the Clinton kids were up there, and Bill was shaking hands. And I forgot about Bill through the whole thing. He didn't cross my mind one time. And I was like, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they're completely separate.
yeah, it has nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what I thought was interesting about it, and I've never paid attention to this side of the debate before in my life, as a person who's annoyed by overly conservative, really overly anything media.
Right, of course.
Conservative or liberal. I don't like MSNBC. I don't like Fox News. Neither one of them are good.
Yep.
I've never paid attention to the conservative response to their candidate being destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was watching it on CBS, and they had several experts lined up to discuss this. And in the middle of it, one of them, I believe it was Bob Schaefer, who, if you don't know, is 1 million years old.
He's 1 million and one. Yeah.
He has been doing the news. I believe he was the one who reported about the Titanic. He's been around longer than TV.
Right.
He's been doing the TV news since before TV existed. Was on the panel, and he had to give up his microphone to Mr. Mike Pence, who had burst onto the scene. And I can only assume it's because they went, oh, crap, that was really bad. We need to get someone rational sounding out there.
Right.
So they sent the most boring Republican they can find, his running mate, out to talk about it.
Right.
The next day, I listened to, and I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but it's like a guilty pleasure of mine.
Okay.
Listened to a local conservative talk radio show host.
Okay.
I listened to him because traffic doesn't upset me enough, so I need something something else to get me riled up.
You need to get over the edge.
Yeah.
Before you get to work.
Yeah. I'm driving. I'm like, it's a little boring today. And I turn it on, and immediately I'm infuriated by this man.
You get to become a rage monster.
So he was spinning it so hard in Trump's favor. Just talking about how, watching the debate, Hillary Clinton just lied her whole way through it. And Trump did great. He was poised, which is not a word anyone's ever used to describe anyone in the Trump family.
Oh, my God.
He was poised. And really the main complaint that anyone should have is that he didn't jump on Hillary Clinton more for the lies she told.
Oh, my God.
This is the man that sat there the entire debate just leaning into his microphone going, lie, while she's talking.
While she was talking. Well, Mike Pence is the great fire extinguisher of this campaign, you know. And he's, he is boring, like you say, but he's also kind of deplorable in some ways as well.
Oh, no, he's not a great person, but he's boring.
Right. He's a boring bad person, yeah.
I was wondering, watching the whole debate.
Right.
The Trump saying lie over what people are saying tactic.
Right.
Could that apply in real life? Could you, if you don't agree with what someone's saying, just start saying, nope, don't think so, lie over them the whole time?
I think surprisingly, I think to a point that does work.
I'm going to start trying it.
Oh, you should do it.
Yeah.
So when I start talking about
lie,
how much I love and respect The Girl from Ipanema, and how it's one of the most classic songs ever, and it deserves
garbage song,
a complete and total Grammy every time.
The Sound of Diarrhea.
See, it works. I don't really want to talk now. Definitely not about The Girl from Ipanema. No, I think it works surprisingly well, and that's what's so fucked up about it, because he just gets up there and he's a big stupid bully.
Yeah.
And a certain amount of people look at that and think that has validity for some reason, that like him being that way and saying it that passionately means that he's right. And it's true. And they just want to get behind him. You know what I mean?
Not to make this an entirely political episode.
It's fine. Yeah.
I've, this whole thing, I've been turning on my psychologist, my psychologist knob.
Okay.
And trying to figure out what's going on with Trump. Because first off, I don't believe anyone would do that just to do it. There's something going on where he honestly believes that he is right about all this stuff, even when he's lying about it.
Yeah.
He's convinced himself these things are true.
Definitely.
So I've been trying to figure out, and you could see it in the debate. This is what I noticed. Donald Trump is the least secure human being on the planet Earth.
Exactly.
And this is the bully response times 10.
Yes.
Like insecure people become bullies. Insecure Trumps become bully presidential candidates.
Right. And because of his position in life, because of his his large amount of privilege, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He never had to confront and he never had to sort of deal with it the way most people have to deal with it to get by in the world. Mm-hmm. So he just continued. He's just a spoiled, maybe not a spoiled, but he's just an insecure child.
And this is probably just my attempt to humanize him, because I do this all the time. I want to know what people are thinking. Yeah. So this is my attempt to make Donald Trump a human and not a cartoonish nut job.
Buffoon.
It half works.
That's the thing that's scary. It does half work. I mean,
it doesn't make me like him. I want that on the record.
Right. No, of course not. But, and this is why I have on the show in the past likened him to Hitler, not because he's committed mass genocide, but it's the same tactic. Yeah. It's being loud, telling people what they want to hear, being loud about it, and being really incendiary. Yeah. And when you grab people that are downtrodden, and there are plenty of people in this country that are downtrodden, and he doesn't even appeal to downtrodden people unless they happen to be white, / male. Mm-hmm. But a good chunk of those people vote, and there's a lot of them in the country. So
they're very passionate about their voting,
and they're very vocal. Yeah. And so he's appealing to. I think he appeals to the fear that group has, and you and I are both white males. Mm-hmm. The fear that the group has in losing just a little bit of being on top. Well, you know what I mean?
And in another attempt to humanize people who believe Trump is the answer to their problems. Right. A lot of the people voting for him are lower middle class or poverty white males.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Now, their biggest fear that he's been preying on the whole time is illegal immigrants. Right. Because a lot of those people might lose their minimum wage job if more immigrants arrive. Sure. So he's latched onto this and scared these people.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not they're not stupid necessarily. I know people want to call them stupid.
Right. They're just dealing with their right. They're just dealing with the problems that they have.
They are viewing it from their viewpoint. I just don't agree with their viewpoint. It's nonsense.
Right.
Their viewpoint is insane.
It's insane, and it's not it's really not accurate, and it's not a viewpoint that followed through to its course is going to be good for everybody else. It's not going to be good. It's going to be terrible.
In the long run, it's not good for anything.
It's not even good for them, because he really doesn't give a shit about them. I don't think he doesn't. All he does is react to things and adjust, and he's got his pride, and then he just is also just saying whatever to get people to vote for him.
Well, and for some reason, everyone always believes the trickle-down economics thing will work.
Yeah, which is crazy.
No, it just means that people who are rich will have more money to hoard away and pass on to their family.
Like they've been doing.
Yeah. It doesn't trickle. I mean, some of it trickles down.
Yeah.
There's a slight trickle.
I mean, people
a
have...
little tricklet.
Look, people have jobs because... Not everyone, but a fair chunk of people have jobs because they're these big, giant companies. Sure.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the whole economic system should work that way. Everyone talks about small businesses. There's no trickle down in small businesses.
No.
You know what I mean? That's a direct relationship.
Yeah.
If I go out and start a business, I might have 4 employees. That's not trickle down.
Yeah.
That's us having a business. You know what I'm saying?
The theory is then the wealthy people will be hiring more small businesses.
Yes.
Of course, that's nonsense because the wealthy people are already hiring whoever they want to hire.
Exactly.
They're wealthy.
Yes, and they will do it. They will hire whoever can do it the cheapest and meet whatever standard they have.
It's not...
Yeah. No, and look, the whole idea... Oh, yeah. Here we go. The whole idea is just regulation, you know, and call Hillary a corporate candidate too if you want. I mean, you wouldn't be probably inaccurate to say so. She is. They all are. However, there's a big difference between having the market and having businesses completely unregulated, and having them have some regulations.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sure, it does make business a little more cumbersome to do. I understand that. It makes it probably harder to start a small business, but it's important to have those safeguards in place so that we don't all get fucked. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what happened with Wall Street.
Yep.
That's what happened with the housing crisis. People were allowed to do fucking all.
Yeah.
You know, look at Wells Fargo right now. You know what I mean? That is an example of the shit working after they figured out what they were doing. You know what I mean? Now their ass is on the line because, you know, the regulators figured out what was going on.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
It's not really on the line.
Well,
they are going to have
a few people are on the line.
They're going to have to give up like 2 days profit for their...
that is true.
For their fine, and that's the only punishment they're going to have. No one's going to jail for it.
No. But because of, you know, this is the way it is.
Someone should.
Yeah, someone should go to jail.
But they're
you know,
not regulated.
They'll probably lose some customers. I bank with Wells Fargo currently. As soon as I can get it all changed over, I won't be anymore. And that's not the only reason, but one of the other reasons is they're a big financer of Dakota Access Pipeline. I'm not into that. So that plus this is enough.
Yeah.
Plus they just kind of suck anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Politics. That's everyone's reaction to the current election.
Oh God. Oh, you guys. I just want to say one last thing. This is my sum up, okay? And I want to find it so I can read it to you guys verbatim because it was a salient thought I had while the debate was going on.
On purpose? You had a salient thought on purpose?
I know it.
Did it accidentally happen? Was it something you just heard someone else say? No, this was my salient thought. You didn't say it.
Is there such a thing as accidentally on purpose? Is that a thing?
Yeah, okay. I'm sure.
So maybe I accidentally on purpose had a salient thought. Okay. Now, when I had it, it hurt. It hurt a little bit. Okay.
Can we, before you read it, what part did it hurt?
It hurt. Well, it hurt the medulla.
Okay.
It hurt the pineal gland, which I felt in the center of my brain. Yeah.
So it was hurting a lot.
Deep. It was deep brain pain.
Okay, important to know.
Yeah. This is my first tweet regarding the debate that night as it was happening. Trump comes at us from a place of fear. Hillary from intelligence, experience, diplomacy, and hope. What's the better choice? That's it. That was the whole thing. I don't trust people that come at you, that try to get you to pay attention to them with fear tactics. You know.
Well, I don't know why.
Why don't I trust them?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know, Nathan.
I mean, they definitely have your best interest at heart. Don't worry about those businesses they still own.
The other thing was, real quick, sorry, tax returns. The dodging that man did. And during the debate, Mr. Holt is like, hey, just because your taxes are in the audit process doesn't mean you can't produce them for everyone.
Well, can I point something out that I heard someone else, I don't remember who pointed this out, but it's very, very wise. Hillary Clinton accused him of not filing tax returns.
Yes.
Because, and this was fact-checked, the only tax returns available from Donald Trump, he paid 0 federal tax. Okay, so she said this.
Yes.
His response to it when she said he didn't pay to this or this or this or this was, it would have been squandered anyway.
Yes, by the government.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not saying my tax money was squandered anyway, saying it would have.
Right.
As if he's
As if
implying
he-
he still did not pay any
Exactly.
taxes.
Exactly.
And so that would be why we don't get to see it.
He said it right there.
Yeah.
He said it right there.
That's not a definitive statement. He can't sue me,
Right.
but it implies
Does.
that he didn't file
Yeah.
any federal tax.
It would have been squandered anyway.
Yeah.
If I had paid them, which I didn't.
If I had paid them, you would have used it poorly.
Right.
All right.
All right.
No moss.
Let's switch gears.
Switch them.
Let's talk about Thelonious Monk again.
Okay.
We talked about him a little bit last time because we had the Thelonious Monk beer,
Yes.
which was excellent. Have you ever heard of a website called Lists of Note?
No.
They also have Letters of Note.
Okay.
Basically, what they do is, and I believe they have a few books now. Mm-hmm. They post, people of some import.
Okay.
Who, whether they be an artist or a journalist or politician or whatever, scientist. They'll publish letters that they sent to someone else.
Yes.
That are interesting from a historic perspective. And then they also started doing this with lists. Okay. So I've actually been wanting to do this for a while. This was a list that Monk gave as advice in 1960 to another younger musician.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he, this musician, scribbled it all down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go on Lists of Note and just look for Thelonious Monk, or just search Lists of Note Thelonious Monk, and it'll pop up. You'll find it.
How many involve drugs?
I don't think any, actually. I don't think any.
So it's not like a comprehensive list
Right.
of Thelonious Monk tips.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I thought these were great. Okay. A lot of these are obviously very like musical related, but some of them aren't. Number one, just because you're not a drummer doesn't mean you don't have to keep time.
Okay.
Valuable. Pat your foot and sing the melody in your head when you play.
That's only relevant for some instruments.
Yeah.
Don't do that if you're playing trombone, trumpet, saxophone. Won't work. Won't work.
Is that right?
You can't sing while you play trumpet.
You're right. You're using your mouth.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Stop playing all those weird notes, in quotations, that bullshit. Play the melody.
No.
From a guy who's known to play a lot of weird notes.
So he just had a different melody in mind than anyone else.
I think so. You know how his melodies are. They're very sort of angular. They get out of the scales a lot.
Big fan of dissonant chords.
Big fan of dissonance. Makes big jumps in his melodies too. Not a lot of notes that are like necessarily right next to each other. Though he does make a lot of chords where the notes are right next to each other.
And it's very good, unless you hate that kind of thing.
Yeah. Make the drummer sound good. Discrimination is important. Now, I don't think he's talking about racial discrimination.
I don't know. It sounds like Thelonious Monk is saying that everyone should discriminate against other races, creeds, anyone different than them.
Wow.
I'm sure that's what Thelonious Monk had in mind.
You've been listening to way too much of that conservative talk radio on your way in.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
This is a great one. You've got to dig it to dig it. You dig? It's almost philosophical. You've got to dig it to dig it. You dig? You like it?
I don't...
Do you understand it?
I mean, I understand it. That may have just been an example of Thelonious Monk rambling, and he wrote that down.
It could be. Let's see. I'm going to skip a few here. He's talking about performing here. It must always be night. Otherwise, they wouldn't need the lights. Let's lift the bandstand. I want to avoid the hecklers. Don't play the piano part. I'm playing that. Don't listen to me. I'm supposed to be accompanying you. Wow. The inside of the tune, the bridge, is the part that makes the outside sound good. I like that. Don't play everything or every time. Let some things go by. Some music is just imagined. What you don't play can be more important than what you do. There's some gems in here. Always leave them wanting more. A note can be as small as a pin or as big as the world. It depends on your imagination. Okay. There's a really good one at the end here we're getting to. When you're swinging, swing some more.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. But that piece of advice is, if you're doing a thing, do that thing.
More.
Yeah.
Just do it a little more.
Just do it.
Keep it going.
Just do it.
Keep it going. Yeah.
He was Nike before Nike.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, just do it. Yeah. And if you're just doing it, you've got it. If you don't want to play, tell a joke or dance. But in any case, you've got it. And he said that to a drummer who didn't want a solo. Whatever you think can't be done, somebody will come along and do it. A genius is the one most like himself. I like that a lot. And then the last one, which I think is really interesting. They tried to get me to hate white people, but someone would always come along and spoil it.
Well, that goes directly against his discrimination thing.
Yeah, I know. What a flip-flopper. Thelonious Monk. You're a big-time flip-flopper.
When he's at a presidential debate, I've got some questions for him.
So right there, I'm sure he grew up. Where did he grow up? Maybe, I don't know where he grew up. Maybe New York, but I'm not sure.
Thelonious Monk, he's one of those people that I've always meant to research and learn more about. Yeah. And then I just never do.
I know a little bit about him. He struggled with mental health issues big time. I think he had bipolar disorder.
I've heard that.
Pretty sure.
And that's about all I've heard.
Yeah. Well, he would hole up in his house and write tons and tons of music. And for a long period of time, he got caught in a car with another musician, another piano player. And not Monk, but that guy was smoking pot or something, doing some kind of drugs. And
by the way, I'm not going to let you pick it back up.
You're not?
No, I'm not going to let you pick it back
come
up.
on, let me pick it up.
Did you go where you're recording over the phone?
No, I'm going to edit it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you pick it back up.
Why? You're not going to let me pick this back up?
Well, can we discuss what just happened?
We can discuss what just
happened.
In
the middle of Thelonious Monk.
Yes.
I'm sure the people have just heard a phone ring.
They did.
Because I'm not letting you edit it out.
Yes, you're not. You're not. I was going to be all seamless and stuff. But
no. So we're not recording in the basement.
No.
That's an important thing for people to know.
That is an important thing
this.
for people to know, yeah.
And who was on the phone? You thought it might be someone important.
I did.
Not that this person's not important.
She certainly is. To me in particular.
Yeah. Your wife wants the podcast to end.
She does.
Not forever, just for tonight.
Right, just the recording.
So she can have you buy her wine.
Correct. That's right. That is what happened just now.
She doesn't want us to finish our artistic expression.
Correct.
Because she needs her vino.
And she had already texted me about it, but she proceeded to call as well. And she didn't even call on my cell phone. She called on the phone here, which is a phone that I pay attention to because it normally doesn't ring right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, I guess mission accomplished.
I guess so.
She got your attention.
Yeah. In fact, she got everyone's attention. Yeah. Everybody out there in podcast land say, thanks, Jen.
Did she specify what kind?
Oh, I know what kind. It's always the same.
What?
She just likes general red.
You know what you should do?
What?
Because she interrupted the podcast?
Oh.
White wine.
I'm doing it.
I'm
doing it.
And the worst white wine.
I'll text you her response. She's getting Gato Negro white. Whatever that means.
Just, not anything that's like Chardonnay or anything.
Right.
Just one that specifically says white.
White wine. Yeah.
Find the brand that it's white or red, and those are your only two choices.
The little liquor store closest to our house has such terrible selection that and a lot of their bottles have are covered in dust. Mm-hmm. So I'll get her a nice dusty bottle of generic white wine.
What's going to be really fun is she doesn't listen to this podcast.
Not
rarely.
She has before, but not in a long time. Yeah.
So she has no idea that this is being plotted.
Exactly. Yeah.
So basically what we're doing here is coming up for a way to shore up your divorce.
Yeah. Or, someday when I'm dead, she can hear it again. Yeah.
Right.
It'll be a nice surprise.
She'll be sitting there mourning your death and going, I really just want to hear his voice.
I have hours and hours. Wait.
I'm going to put on episode, whatever this episode.
65.
65. 65 is a nice number. We'll listen to that one. And she'll be listening to it going, wow, they really talked about Trump a lot. That's obnoxious.
King Trump.
Thelonious Monk.
Whatever. I don't like
whatever.
jazz. Whatever.
Wait, what is this they're talking about?
Well, honey, in this instance, I think it's deserved. Love you. Mm-hmm. So where were we? Okay, Thelonious Monk is in a car.
Yeah.
He is with another piano player who is smoking a J or something.
Yeah.
He gets arrested, or they get hassled by the cops.
Because that happens in that era, particularly.
Well, and now too, obviously.
Well,
yeah. But
they don't get hassled as much now as it is just shot.
It's pretty horrible. So they're in the car and hassled by the cops, and because Monk was there, him and the other musician both lost their, I think it's called a cabaret card, which allowed them to perform publicly in New York. Okay,
that sounds like a fun card.
Cabaret. Yeah. So he loses his cabaret card. Couldn't get it back for a long time, so he couldn't perform for a long time. So he just wrote a lot of music at his place, and then he kind of re-exploded back on the scene later. As you know, if you don't know Thelonious Monk, his music is brilliant and lovely, and I love it. But he's pretty famous for kind of jumping up in the middle of a song and walking around and kind of mumbling to himself, and just doing different things. He liked hats. So sometimes he'd wear like a funny hat, even to the point of like the hat with a little spinner on top.
It's actually, I don't know that I've ever seen a picture of him without a hat.
I don't know that I have either. Yeah,
he was always in a hat.
He was always behatted. Yeah.
I think he was born with a hat. No one has proof. It's a fact right now.
Years later, they discovered that was a placenta.
I mean, medical technology back then, they didn't really know how things worked. They thought a lot of babies had hats.
Yeah. And over time, it just got leathery and,
What's weird was his was a top hat placenta.
Yeah. Funny that it came out that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen plenty of fedora placentas.
Yeah.
I've even seen a sombrero placenta.
But the top hat, you don't want a high placenta.
No.
You want your placenta low.
Low. Yeah. Page boy placenta, totally fine. Yeah.
I don't know. This may be the dumbest random bit that we've ever just launched into.
It's up there.
I mean, it's top 10.
Toboggan
for sure.
placenta.
Yeah.
Keeping you warm in the wintertime.
Okay, toboggans. Hold the phone
okay.
here.
All right. Well, I will.
Especially if your wife's about to call.
That's right. Demand wine.
So, toboggans. Explain to me what a toboggan is.
A toboggan is this is my idea of a toboggan.
Okay.
What I think a toboggan is. A toboggan is a hat that pulls down tightly over your head to keep your head warm.
See, this is the issue I have in life because I've heard multiple, and I don't know if this is a Southern thing.
Okay.
I've heard multiple people call these a toboggan. A toboggan in many other parts of the country is a sled.
Right. Right.
Just a sled.
Right.
Not a hat.
Yeah.
There is nothing you wear on your head called a toboggan unless you were to put a sled on your head.
Yes.
Not recommended. Uncomfortable.
Sharp on the bottom.
They are just everywhere else called stocking caps.
Stocking cap, a sock hat, I've heard it called as well.
Who calls it a sock hat? Who's doing that?
Other Southern people. A stocking cap. There's even a beanie is another word that people use.
I've heard beanie.
A beanie, yeah.
Beanie and stocking cap. Never a toboggan. But all of a sudden, I moved down here, and it's toboggan this, toboggan that. Oh, I'm going up to Michigan. I better buy a toboggan. And I say, why do you need a toboggan? They probably have those there in the sled stores. It's very confusing.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
What?
I get where you're coming from.
You can't just take a word and make it something different. You can't.
Nathan, welcome to the English language.
But
it is myriad and diverse.
But it means a thing. You can't.
This. I know what this does to you. I know what this does to you.
I mean, it's in the dictionary.
I know. Let's move on. You want to hear a classic Red Fox joke?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
One of my coworkers is a great lady. Mm-hmm. She is just so warm and awesome, and she and I, for whatever reason, always talk about race issues a lot. She's half African American, half Dominican, and she's super cool. Mm-hmm. So she told me this joke one day. We were just outside kicking it before we did some work, and she's like, "You ever hear that old Red Fox joke?"
Did you immediately just say no?
Yeah, because
I've never
why
once
would I have
heard a Red Fox joke.
Yeah.
I know he existed.
So the joke goes, I've been in a lot of white people's houses, and you know what? White people's houses always smell like celery. That's the joke. It's not a real punchline. It's just an observation. It's kind of funny.
Is that true?
I think it's a little true. Yeah.
I don't.
White people's houses always smell like celery.
Now I'm going to be very self-conscious about celery. I already had, Tanae had a coworker who pointed this out. And I may have brought this up on the podcast before, but I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, go for it.
Deal with it.
I'm fine with it.
Had the stereotype that she crafted of white people, that they always eat with their fingers.
You have talked about this before, yeah.
So now, especially, like we were out twice with her.
Okay.
I mean, not just her, but a group of people.
Yeah.
But I felt very self-conscious about, like, if there was a plate of nachos, I wouldn't want to eat the nachos. I don't want to feed into this stereotype.
What, do you eat nachos with a fork?
Well, I wouldn't touch them.
Oh, you just didn't eat them at all?
Or at least I waited till she wasn't looking.
Ah.
Because I am white. I'm going to eat them with my fingers.
Of course you're going to eat the nachos.
There was...
What do you not... How else do you eat nachos?
Well, she didn't eat. I maybe the stereotype really is black people don't eat nachos.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be true. I don't know. I've never seen an African American eating nachos.
It seems doubtful because nachos are so universal.
But have you ever seen an African American eat one? Eat nachos?
You make an excellent point.
Mm-hmm.
That I can remember.
They always use a fork and knife. I guess. I don't know. That's what's implied by this stereotype that we eat with our fingers all the time.
That white people eat with their fingers.
The last time I was very upset because I looked around the table and it was like a happy hour type of situation.
Yeah.
So all of the people there, aside from her, most of them are, of course, white, had things like chicken tenders.
Oh, no.
and nachos, and it's just upsetting.
And you're looking around thinking, shit,
Stop.
We do.
Put it down. Put it down.
do.
She's right there. So
they didn't have the subtext. They didn't have they didn't have the context that you have.
I know.
It's a shame. It's a damn shame.
I wonder if she would think my house smells like celery.
I mean, I think all of our houses, us white folk, smell like celery.
If she was in my house and I had celery, I would be eating it with a fork and knife.
It makes like the ultimate food, the ultimate like stereotypical food, like ants on a log. Like because it's celery and you eat it with your hands.
That's the only choice.
Yeah, well, yeah. Chicken wings.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now,
Just thinking of all the food you eat with your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, white people love sandwiches.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, I'm sure other nationalities also
No,
love sandwiches.
no, they don't. No.
Just white people.
Yeah, yeah.
Eat a lot of sandwiches, and you don't eat a sandwich with a fork and knife.
You sure don't.
Pizza?
Oh, God. Every food. It's ruining it all.
Chinese food, you eat that with chopsticks, theoretically.
Yeah.
But people are bad at chopsticks. So you know what they do?
They just shovel it
Just
with their hands.
shovel it in their mouth. Just
they
shovel
do.
it.
You ever been to Panda Express? In like a real white neighborhood?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's just shoveling,
It's a lot of
shoveling.
mushing sounds.
It's weird that they don't use scoops there to
know.
dish out the food. They just grab fistfuls and throw it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, that's an Asian thing.
Throwing food?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess hibachi grills. They do that a lot.
You know what's great? I didn't even have an example. I was just saying bullshit, and you were like, you totally backed it up.
Yeah, no, that's true. They're always throwing shrimp.
So we let my toddler eat food in the store sometimes because sometimes a hungry toddler, it's worth ripping open the box of Nutri-Grain bars so that he'll calm the fuck down. But I have to struggle with him to not drop the wrappers on the floor. And I was finally able to explain it to him. I said, Holden, if you drop the wrappers on the floor, they're going to get very upset and write about you in their songs.
So now he won't do it?
He won't do it, yeah.
Oh, man.
He doesn't want to end up in a Wiz Khalifa song or whatever.
You have no idea how tempted I am right now to write a song about Holden littering.
Do it. Let's do it.
Oh, man. Oh, not immediately.
Not immediately?
Not off the dome.
Not right off the dome?
Not off the dome.
Not slick off the dome? Do people say that? They don't say that.
Yeah, they do.
Slick off the dome?
No, slick off the dome?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Off the dome, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I said is a thing.
Yeah.
What you said is not a thing.
I tried to modify the thing that people say
Yeah.
to make it my own, but it didn't really.
Cultural appropriation.
I did. Oh, damn. Damn. Sorry, Lena. Okay, so, guys, there won't be a show next week because I am going out of town. I wanted to let you know this ahead of time. I'm going up to Philadelphia. I'm driving to Philadelphia from Nashville, so I'm going through Baltimore, D.C. We're going to have a day trip down to D.C. We might drive up to New York, potentially. I've never been to New York City. I've been to Philadelphia before. I've been through D.C., never been into D.C., so I'm very excited. I'm going to go see an old buddy up there. My friend Steven, who listens to the show, actually. He's a loyal listener. So, hi, Steven. I'm probably at your house by now. So no show next week. We're going to come back strong the week after that. It will be October at that point. It's almost October.
It's October
It's October
tomorrow.
now. Yeah. It's October tomorrow. Yes.
Right?
We're recording this on the 30th. Yes. It's October
it's September 30th. Tomorrow is
right
October.
Now. It's almost October.
In 3 hours, it will be October.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
fair enough.
2 hours Eastern.
No show next week. Though you might see some other stuff pop up in your feed. We'll see.
I don't know what that means.
We'll see. I might have some surprises in store.
That's terrifying.
Keep paying attention.
Don't do that.
I just ran out of steam. Did you run out of steam?
No.
You know?
No.
You got way far.
I never run out of steam. I'm just letting it vibe.
Yeah.
Just letting the podcast vibe.
Straight out of Nazareth. I thought about that. I thought we could write a song. Talking about songs we could write.
Is that a Christmas song?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
Straight out of Compton, but straight out of Nazareth.
No, I
Jesus.
got the idea.
You understand it.
No,
yeah.
I understand.
You understand the concept, right? Yeah, you get it. Straight out of Nazareth. A crazy Jew named Jesus.
That's the only line you have, right?
No, I got a little bit more, but I don't remember right now.
Okay, it's that time.
Yeah.
Sushi Jack.
Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi!
Woo, 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 woo. Drop the phones.
That didn't make as loud.
Oh, I recorded something giving our credits. Well, just saying.
Thanks for listening. Follow Justin Croft at Justin L. Croft, Nathan at Badlands Badly, and Sushi Jackknife's very own consciousness at Sushi Jackknife. Email us at sushijackknife@gmail.com or explore our disappointingly curated Tumblr page at sushijackknife.tumblr.com. Or give us an iTunes review. Don't face the void alone.